Hey everyone, welcome back to Discover and Learn. Have you ever thought why do we struggle with English speaking? I'll tell you. There are lot many reasons why we struggle with English speaking. The first one is we are not very confident, right? We don't speak much. That is the only reason why we are not confident and fluent in English, or it takes a lot of time for us to become confident and fluent in English speaking. So we don't speak very often like our mother tongue. We speak it every now and then. Every time we open our mouth, we speak in our mother tongue. So that is why we are very fluent in it and very confident in speaking on any topic, anything in our mother tongue. If we do the same with English, it will be much easier for you guys to start speaking in English. But it's difficult, right? Every time you can't speak in English. You can't talk to your parents in English. You can't talk to your house help in English. You can't go and talk to the, security person or a gatekeeper or, a vegetable vendor or anywhere else. Anywhere and everywhere you can't talk in English. So that is a restriction, right? And we don't live in an English speaking country. So that is why we don't get or achieve fluency and confidence very easily or in short span of time. It takes a long time. It becomes a journey for us. But it's not difficult. Now I'm going to tell you a shortcut here. Every conversation starts with a question. We have realized that. We know it, right? It starts with a question. Ask a follow-up question, then the conversation will start growing as just keep on asking or answering questions. Okay, so what I'm going to do here today is I'm going to take up one question and I'm going to answer that question for you. Okay, the same way what you can also do is you can also take that question. You can either speak with me, repeat after me, shadow with me, or you can take that question and you can start answering in your own way. Okay, and in the same way, whatever conversation you have the whole day with anybody, remember that conversation and start speaking in English. This is how we can start gaining fluency and confidence in speaking in English. If we start getting into the habit of answering questions and asking follow-up questions and then answering that, it will be much easier for us to speak in English about anything, anywhere, on any topic with anyone. Trust me on this. So get in the habit of answering questions. So in this session also I'm going to take up a question and I'm going to answer that, and you can also start speaking with me or you can start speaking on your own about it. Okay, let's get started. Are you ready for it? On that note, guys, welcome back to my channel. I am your communications coach and a soft skill trainer by profession, and I'm here to help you out with all your communications problems and to help you speak English fluently and confidently. And wait a minute, if you haven't subscribed my channel, guys, please subscribe my channel, like and share my videos, do write your comments in the comment section, and don't forget to press the notification icon so that you get all my videos on time, free of cost, and access to all the amazing content on this channel. What you have to do is you have to stay tuned, stay connected, and watch my entire video to master this skill. Let's get back to the topic now. One question I've been asked many times is, how did you get into HR? So I'm going to answer this question. So whatever field you are in, you can just take up that and you can ask a question like how did I get into engineering? How did I get into medical? How did I get into marketing? How did I get into manufacturing or pharma or anything? So this is a very simple question which many people ask, right? Whether they want to know about your profession or they want to know what you're doing or how you're doing. So they ask you a question, how did you get into this? Right? So the same question I've been asked in interviews also. I've been asked this question in interviews as well. So you will also come across this question during your interviews as well, apart from normal conversations. So keep in mind how to answer this question. Prepare this answer. It is really going to help you a lot in your profession as well. So today I'm going to answer this question, how did you get into HR? Or how did I get into HR? So I'll just give you a background here that I have been a biotechnology student. So I did my graduation in biotechnology and I had no idea that I'll get into HR. So I had a science background. I was good in studies. So I just thought of getting into medical. But I think, somewhere I gave the exams also. I couldn't clear it, to be very honest. But then I lost interest in that field. And then I thought of doing something else. So biotechnology was something which is very upcoming field at that time. And honestly, after 12th, I didn't knew much about biotechnology. It was just that everybody was talking about this is an upcoming field, it's going to be a boom and everything else. So I just thought of getting into it without knowing in and out about it. And as I've already told you many times that, I was not fortunate enough to have a lot of facilities, internet facilities so that I can go and browse about things and, get knowledge and then choose a profession. So I just heard about things and I did a little bit of research here and there and I got into biotechnology. And since I had a science background, so I wanted to do something in this field only. Well, my 3 years went very nice. It was very good. I was very interested in doing experiments and everything else. So it was good. I enjoyed every bit of it. But then after completing my course, again the question came that what I'm going to do next, which happens to everybody, right? After 10th we start thinking like what stream we should choose. After 12th we start thinking what stream we should choose, get into, right? After doing graduation, again we start thinking what next we should do. Or after doing our bachelor's, we start thinking what next we should do. Whether we should go ahead with masters or whether we should go ahead with a job or we should change our change our field and what not. So same was the question in front of me as well, what next I should do. Again, I thought of doing MBA. I didn't want to get into research and all because it was a long journey. I have to do masters and then MTech or you have to do a lot of research and get into that field. So I didn't want to spend a lot of time studying and then working. So I wanted to start working. I was very excited about getting into a job. So what I thought was to do an MBA. So I got into an MBA which was into biotechnology again. So MBA was also in biotechnology. First year we studied a bit of biotechnology, a bit of business administration also. All the subjects were introduced like marketing, finance, HR, international business, law, and many things were introduced apart from some biotechnology subjects. So first year was very cool. It was good. Next year again I have to choose a specialization and we had to choose from finance, marketing, HR, and international business. So again I was confused what to do next. So I spoke to my professors and got a clarity on what should I do, and I spoke to everybody, like people from marketing, from finance, from HR, and from international business also. So I was very clear finance is something I don't want to get into. Marketing is also I was not very much interested in. And I got to know something about HR, so I was like, okay, let me try this. Let's see how it goes. And I got into HR. And I started liking this profession. I started liking what I started studying. I started liking this subject, theoretical subject. I started liking it. Again, it was my post-graduation was complete and then I have to get into a job. I went and gave interviews. I also went to give interviews and I was selected in a company. And it was an IT company. I got into that. And when I went there, I realized that whatever I've studied theoretically is completely different what I have to do here. I have to work on recruitments. I have never heard about how to do recruitments in HR while I was studying MBA. So I have to come here, sit here, and I have to get into Naukri portal or Monster portal, and then how we have to find profiles from there, how to schedule interviews, how to talk to people, what to ask people. So everything was different. Theory and practical is completely different, guys. So when I got into the job, I then realized what actually the HR profession is about. You have to go meet people, you have to talk to them, you have to help them with their queries, you have to tell them about the rules, regulations, get the forms filled, and many recruit people, ask people questions about their profession and and a lot of things. So it was completely different. But then when I got into the job, I started getting training and all. I started liking it because I was always a people's person. I always was very, happy-go-lucky kind of a person. I was always very approachable and I always interacted with people. I had this quality of interacting with people. Everybody and anybody and everybody I can interact with. So that is something which I have in my personality. I can talk to a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 10-year-old and a grandma also. I can speak to everybody. That is one quality which I had and I felt that helped me. My personality, my qualities actually helped me in my profession. I improved my English. I started speaking good English and I started interacting with people. I started arranging birthday parties and events and everything. So there are lots of things which is involved in HR. You have to plan events, you have to plan activities, you have to plan recruitments, you have to plan, appraisal, salary, training and development, many things are there. Okay, so I started working on different aspects of HR in the beginning. And later I shifted to recruitment. So this is how I got into HR. It was all by chance I never thought that I'll get into HR since beginning. So I was a medical aspirant and then I went into biotechnology. After doing biotechnology, after my graduation, I again went to MBA and I chose HR as a specialization. And since then, this journey began. And then I got a job in HR and that was the turning point in my life, and I actually learned what HR does or what HR profession is about in my job. So I started learning. For 2 years I was into the core HR or mixed profession, like I handled recruitments, appraisals, training and development and salary part, like compensation and everything else. So I handled everything for 5 years, I would say. Okay, I handled everything and then I shifted to recruitments completely. I wanted to get into recruitments and then after that I shifted to training and development or learning and development. So that was my choice. Lately I shifted to learning and development or training and development because of my family reasons. I have a kid at home and many other things. So there are lots of reasons why you choose a profession or why you transit from one profession to another or from one thing to another. So that is why I took a decision of getting into L&D or T&D, like training and development, so that it's easier for me to handle my work and my life and my work, so I can balance work life together. So that is how, guys, I got into HR. Now everybody has a story, right? It's not a very straight path for everyone. People get into certain profession and then they think that they're not fit for this profession and then they start looking at something else and they really find a way. And they do find a way and they do get into another profession. Somebody probably started with a job and they don't enjoy the job and they think of starting a business or something of their own and they start doing that, right? So there are lots of things, there are lots of stories, there are lots of ideas you can get when you start speaking to people. So next time what you can do is whenever you meet a friend or relatives or colleagues or anybody else, you can also start asking this question, how did you get into this profession? And you'll see, you will be amazed listening to the answers. Everybody has a different story to tell. And once you start listening to those stories, you come and start practicing it. Right? You also tell your story, listen to their story, you also tell your story there. And then you can have a conversation in English. If not in English, you can come back home and you can have that conversation in front of the mirror or your video camera. Just to practice speaking in English. But remember, guys, every conversation starts with a question. You have to ask follow-up question to continue the conversation or take forward the conversation, and this is how the conversation keeps on growing. So you have to be in the habit of answering questions every now and then. Whatever question you speak in your mother tongue and you answer or you hear from somebody, come back home, start practicing that in English. There are lots of questions or there are lots of things we speak every single day, right? We go to a grocery store, we go to a vegetable vendor and we ask about things, whether these vegetables are fresh, if what is the cost of the potato or tomato or onions, right? We have a conversation with them. Why can't we come back and recreate that scene and start speaking in English as if I am, a person who went to buy the vegetables and the vegetable vendor is sitting there, and I am going to ask the vegetable vendor, like, what is the rate of the potato today? Then vegetable vendor, it is 50 rupees kilo. Okay, I want 1 kilo. Can you please give me 1 kilo of this? What is the cost of tomato? Again, vegetable vendor, it's 40 rupees kilo. Okay, I need 1 kilo of this. Any other vegetable do you have which is fresh today? I want some leafy vegetables. Okay, give me one spinach bundle, or give me one bottle gourd. Right? So you can just start recreating the whole scene, and you can start talking in English about what you have spoken already at the vegetable vendor's place. Right? It's not difficult, guys. You have to start doing role plays. You have to start doing conversational practice. So this is how you can start practicing English speaking on real life topics or real life on real life situations. This is the easiest way to get fluent and confident in English, guys. Trust me on this. Take it from me. And if you start doing this from today, right now, for a month at least, you'll do it. You will see the difference. What you have to do is every single day, you have to make sure that, you recollect every conversation and start speaking about it in English. And that is really going to help you. Every single day, we ask a lot of questions. We answer a lot of questions. Start focusing on this and you will get to know what I am talking about and how this is going to transform your English. So guys, that's it for today. I'll see you in my next session. Until then, keep learning, keep speaking, keep watching, and keep exploring. See you. Bye-bye and take care.